Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're live once again, and we're going to play Spinning Goes as per usual. Welcome back, guys. What day is it? It's Thursday. And yeah, we're just here to do the usual kind of ting, guys. Last couple sessions, been kind of a bummer. We have definitely been getting wrecked in pretty much all categories, apart from perhaps Redline. Let's take a look at our results so far this year in chips. All right, so here we are. This is what the graphage looks like today so far this year, filtered specifically for Spinning Goes. We are doing okay in the red line department, like I said. However, we are dumping EV. We've had a couple interesting sessions, lots of really interesting spots, but I'd say we've kind of been on the unlucky side in terms of setups, coolers, etc. So today we're going to play some spins. We're going to try and get some volume up on the board. And, of course, as I've mentioned before, this will contribute to some kind of a challenge in the very near future, which I'll announce hopefully before the end of this month. But still a work in progress. There is work being done towards that. All right, with no further ado, guys, let's jump straight in. $25 games. Let's go. A little upswing today would be nice. I definitely would not be mad at a little upswing. Hello, everybody in the chat, by the way. Welcome, Smeeble. You were first today. Hello, Ed K as well. Ed K, I'm just saying, Amazon, you know, they get these things right. There's a chance. Maybe you should stock up. You never know. Zintex, hello. Age targeting. Oh, my God. Jim Ladd, what's up? Thank you for the follow, by the way, buddy. Where have you been? Welcome. Good to see you guys. Hello, John Edwards. Thank you for stopping by today. All right, good start with the jacks. Maybe. Maybe a good start with the jacks. All right, cool. All right, $75 multiplier. This is a low frequency steal. Very low frequency. But we're in there. We're going crazy. All right, this is a straight 3x ISO. And in an ideal world, guys, we would play a few games without 2 regs at every table today. That definitely does not help our EV. 25 regs absolutely cooking us right now. And this is probably good enough to just flat in position here. Shoving also probably has some merit. I think probably this is strong enough just to flat, though, in position. We do need to get rather sticky on these boards. Ocho is something. Now, I don't expect him to play a king or a jack this way, so I think we are going to start betting. Let's go ahead and try this. He might still have like 9s and 10s and stuff like that. So we're going to bet the turn, check the river. Nice hand, Jack Deuce. Jack Deuce is definitely the kind of second pair you might find opponents checking back on the turn on some occasion. But I would say a lot of the Jack X that's proper would just bet turn or something like that. For better or for worse. QC Bros, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. And the 60s Diamonds going to get in the calling category. And should we give this one a delay? Good luck, Mr. New. I'm not sure if we've had a chat yet so far. It's nice that another reg is reaching out to us. At this point, I think New is almost definitely going to be a $25 regular spinning goer. Okay, we rolled low here, guys. We are actually going to go for a 4x large ISO versus limp. And then we're going to take the King 8 to Limp Town, call it jam potentially if we need to. Otherwise, we're going to play this beautiful hand in position like this. The Ocho is potentially going to be a good one for us. $10-4 against this player, probably too wide. We're going to take out a lot of our weakest stuff at this stack depth. Jack Deuce can't be a call yet. Ace Queen suited. We can still find a trap here. We'd love to find some limp traps in this spot. Any tramps any good? All right, to a flop instead. Now, our hand is under-repped. We would bet this board as a bluff 100%, so we're going to keep it balanced against the reg. Against unknowns, we can do some more wacky stuff here. But any 4 any jack will give us action. Obviously, our opponents can find some bluffs as well, where we won't have as many ace combos. Verse reg, guys. Verse reg. We're going to follow our rules that we set out. We set out some rules about calling those all-ins, and we're going to stick to them because they've been serving us quite well since we've employed those strategies. $10-9 is not going to be there either. King-9 of diamonds, same as the King-9 suited. We're just going to, King-9 of clubs, excuse me, we're going to limp and call a shove if we need to. That is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful flop. Let's actually sneak in a trap on this board. So I don't think there's too many scare cards for us here. There's not that many scare cards coming on the river for our opponent. Let's let him blast off here. Now the question is, how do we size here? This probably looks most bluff heavy. Our opponents definitely could put us on. No, this is better. This is better. Very nice. Check getting paid is lovely. Our opponent turns up here with Jack 10 as well. River the 2 pair. There's a chance we get the whole lot, but also a lot of Jack 10s probably aren't going to bet what on that river. I think they probably like to size larger, generally speaking. A lot of players leading the turn will bet bigger on that river, in the assumption that we're not going to have as many made flushes, of course. Unlucky in the all-in here. Blue Sea says, bruh, bought you some blood pressure medication. Are you taking it preemptively or waiting for the river? Hilarious, Mr. Blue. How you doing, buddy? No. Soda Pop, welcome back. You're here for the very, very first game. This one is going to be a fold. It's actually slightly tight, though. Slightly tight, but that is by design. We are playing slightly tighter by design. Circadian, hello. Thank you for the good lucks. Preemptively, pretty sure we're going to complain about many river cards today. No complaints, never. Okay, Jack 10's too good to fold here, guys. Wish me luck. Good spot here for the JT. Lovely. First game in the bag, $75 in the bank. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Felt pretty good. Soda Pop says, how often do you find yourself either questioning following your set out rules or just flat out not sticking to the game plan? That's a great question. It is somewhat, I want to say mood dependent, but not mood as in like, I'm in a bad mood today, I'm not going to follow the rules. I think like the fluctuations in my poker game at this point are quite subtle. I do generally most of the time play a strategy that is going to be good. You know what I mean? Like, it is somewhat unusual for me to like do something where I'm just like, I'm completely out of control right now, and that was just a complete like fish move, right? That's not to say I don't make massive mistakes, but if I'm doing it, I'm usually trying to apply some sort of reasonable strategy. How often do I sort of break from that? How often do I not follow my set out rules? I would say probably it creeps in like 30% of the time or something. Maybe not that much. Maybe like 10 or 15% of the time. I don't know. It really depends which rules we're talking about. There are certain rules that are designed to be broken for specific setups. Ace 10 to Ace King. It's going to happen every time. Sensitive Tony says, against your Jack 10, your King 9 of Diamonds look like a naked ace of Diamonds bluff. I would never have gone for it all. I would have gone for all of it on the river. Yeah, exactly. I think that the shove is potentially better there. The only reason why I changed my mind, Sensitive Tony, is because of the size, right? If our opponent bets half pot on that river, half pot or more, I think they end up having a lot of like strong hands, right? So then obviously going for all of it makes more sense. The fact that they bet one big blind to me feels like it's like a random, like it was top pair on the turn or second pair on the turn, and they're afraid of the overcard. They're still trying to get called by worse, control the pot against diamonds. So if they had to bet one, I would have gone for all of it, I think. Circadian, thank you so much for the sub. Sorry, I completely breezed over that. Very, very nice of you, sir. Appreciate your patronage. All right, guys. We'll mark this one for review. I'm almost positive this is just a jam. It's one of these very asymmetrical stacked depth spots. 8-9 of hearts would be a jam at 10 big blinds effective, even if they were balanced. So I'm pretty sure that just goes. Ace deuce, of course. Pretty straightforward on the flop, on the pre-flop here. Very nice, Circadian. And now you get to use all those beautiful emotes, and there's such good ones as well. You can use those everywhere. Against this player, let's put in a trap. By the way, Jero Liano, thank you very much for the follow. Double O Bond Made, thank you very much for the follow as well. That's very cool. Thank you for coming to hang with us today. I think checking this turn is probably going to be quite good for deception more than anything else, because the King of Spades will get lots of folds anyway, and then potentially catch a bluff. Something like that. Let's go for the 3 bigs on the river, though. I think this is the best way to make our hand look like a bluff, get called by an 8. I guess this is how we would want to bluff as well. Obviously, betting that turn is almost never going to be a bad thing, though. Just unknown player. I think they tend to overfold to turn barrels, and I think I just want to keep more in there. Oh, good soda pop. Yeah, let's delayed bet this one. We have like no equity on this board. If our opponent does this, we're going to give him credit here. Milestone indeed. 3-stream streak. Let's go. Ace-5. I think we got a call here. It's a 2x multi as well. We're not going to miss this one. Like I said, Ace-5, very clear call from a theory standpoint, right? Not even close. However, if it is a deeper stacked multiplier and we're playing against a complete unknown, we need to start taking some out. Ace-5 still might be too strong. I'm married to the cards, but the cards don't love me back. I do a review pretty much every day now, Tony. That's the idea. This year I want to try and play mostly one tabling. Obviously, as we get towards the end of the year, depending on the volume we've played, we might have to ramp that up. But we're going to stick to the majority one tabling on stream, like classic NWTV stuff, classic one tabling thing that we've done, you know, since like 2019. And we're going to try and do review most sessions from the hands that we've played if we have any marked up. And then this year as well, once I get the challenge going, I'm going to try and get like very regular updates on social media as well. Zintex. Kind of Fofia. That I of course I know that one though, buddy. I know that. I used to have a clock. It was a Bitbooga clock, and instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, it had fours. It had the number 4 in all of the positions. So kind of Fofia. Applied at all times. I wish I still had that clock. That was a cool clock. That was a gift for me because that was one of my favorite sayings in German. Let's take a flop. Let's start betting. Tom says, I've still been without a drink in 2026. I've been really well behaved too, actually, Tom. Couple weekends ago, we had some drinks on the Friday night, and then I had a couple on the Saturday sort of afternoon. But other than that, I've been very well behaved. Myself and Ruthie are in the gym now a lot, so trying to keep it locked down. Not struggling, honestly. Had like a drink during the UFC, but I got a buddy round, and I bought some beers for him, and I got a buddy. It was Uncle Kurt. I got Uncle Kurt round for the UFC. Just gonna ship over this limp here. I got Uncle Curtis round for the UFC, so I bought him some beers, and then I ended up having like a glass of wine. That was a long sesh though, right? We started watching UFC at like 10:45 UK, and then it went on until like 6 a.m. or something, which I didn't think it was going to do. Okay, I am going to take this spot based on the fact that this player has been limp folding a lot. So we still probably do have fold equity here, but the limp here can also be a lot of traps. Yeah, I mean, limp calling 8-9 is just fucking nonsense, but that's also not the worst outcome for us, obviously. This is unforgivably bad, though. Truly, 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 truly poor. Limp call shove button multi-way, let's call it 8 effective, was 9-8 off lull. Yeah, we got to be careful, though. When you see players limp like that, they just don't want to fold that much, basically. If it wasn't for the fact we saw that player limp fold such a huge number of times in a row, like, I say a huge number of times, if we didn't see it like a couple times in a row, then I probably would just avoid that one completely because you know you're always going to flip or be trapped. Having said that, it's a $75, it's a 3x multiplier. We don't really want to be doing too much to, you know, avoid these spots. Check raising queen 10 on this board. And the ace tray push here. Going to mark the queen 10 check raise again. I can't remember the exact sizings we're supposed to use here. And also, just want to double check that we're almost always going to check raise our strongest top pairs, which just sort of story checks out. I wish we would stop running into dominating hands all the time pre-flop. Izane, thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Last time I had alcohol was March 2024. Solid, mate. Very solid. I don't inherently think there's anything wrong with drinking. I do like a drink occasionally. I do find that actually these days I increasingly don't enjoy it as much as I did before. But that's less to do with the fact of drinking and more to do with the fact of that my hangovers have become like soul-crushing, existential crisis, anxiety parties. Hey, El Ketty, welcome. Good to see you. Probably going to drink in the evening anyway. One of my best friends lost her job today. They have closed her department. We'd actually planned to meet for the next issue of our disco evening where everyone invited brings a record and talks about it, but now everyone brings their favorite bottle of wine instead. I love stuff like that. I do think that it is very human to drink. Humans have been drinking for a long time. It's just something that, as a civilization, we seem to enjoy. But obviously, it's not good for you in large quantities. Can be good for your soul, though. I've had many, many great nights with my friends out drinking, and they were good for the soul, if not for my body. Let's fucking go. I said next game, please. I'm ready now, so stay with me. I'm not scared, it's okay. So cut the talk. Let's just play. I've been here, I've stayed late. I know the cost, know the way. I don't flinch when the heat comes on. I don't care, just move along. Yeah, no, I know that. I know that, B. I get that. I know plenty of people who feel exactly the same way as well. I was just talking about for me personally. Absolute banger, by the way. Pocket Ochos. This guy's been very aggro thus far. Let's put this into a mid-raise blind v blinds. Start with a one big blinder on the flop. And the 7-5. All right, ace deuce. Against this guy. Okay, let's start with a limp. This is not the worst flop I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's one of those, is it? So probably never folding a 5, probably never folding diamonds. Story checks out. Oh my God. Lovely stuff. Definitely not folding a queen. Definitely not folding a queen. Can we clean up this 75 bucker? King and a 6 with the clubs. Got a call. Tornier says, quality music selection, Nick. I'm glad you think so, Tornier. Do you want to know something really funny? I made it with AI. I programmed this music myself. I even wrote some of the lyrics. And I actually think it sounds really good. And that's crazy, right? Because I am legitimately... a lot of people don't know this, but I've been a musician for pretty much my entire life. I started playing the clarinet in like grade 4 or something like that when I was super young, and since then I think I was in the school band in some capacity until I was 18. I was in every school band. In fact, I was in the classical version ×2. I was in the jazz version ×2. I used to play music at like functions for the school as well. Play drums, play guitar, and I really don't like the idea of AI music being a thing. And I think that the human component is very important, and the creative human component is important. But I have to say, I started messing around with Suno and a couple other programs to assist with creation of this music, and some of it actually just sounds legitimately very good. It's pretty incredible, but I don't use it lightly, and I will always present it as such. I'm glad you like it though, mate. I'm gonna make some more. I'm gonna write some more tunes. I'm gonna generate some more tracks, so it's not always the same ones on repeat, and we're just gonna build up the library over time. This is a 1-2-5, by the way, chat. Let's see if we can win a couple bucks. I would be very, very into that. We have A10. Our opponent is checking the turn now. I think we want to bet the turn. Hello, Wee. Good to see you. I probably drank nearly every day for the last 40 years. Jeez, yeah. You don't want to do that, Wee. That's a lot. I do enjoy going out and drinking, which would probably classify as binge drinking on occasion, only occasionally. No judgment. But yeah, no. Every day is no good. Drinking tons at once is no good. This year I've been very well behaved. I've been hitting the gym a little bit now. We joined a new health club that's really, really nice right here on Brighton Seafront, and it's got a gym and a sauna and a steam room, and it's got a pool and it's got a hot tub. doing all of that together feels very relaxing and not like I got to go to the gym. You know, all that gym feeling. All right, we hit a 7 here. But good for you, E. I'm glad to hear you've made some positive changes. That's fantastic. We're not folding the flop, guys. See how they respond on the turn. Quick check on the turn. Okay, interesting. Now, betting does have some value here. I think maybe betting is slightly superior. I have a sneaking suspicion our opponent might have a 10 now, which is really annoying. Oh, or the 8-9. Nice hand, buddy. Absolute monkey. What's up, Calvin? Good to see you. Hey, Nick, just watched the YouTube replay on the King-Queen suited marked hand. That specific hand I feel misplayed more than Jack-Jack or Ace-Ace. Thanks for the review. You're very welcome, mate. You're very welcome. And thank you for calling it out. I like when you guys shout out the hands you want to be replayed, so then I'm making content you want to see. But yeah, it was a slam dunk. It was a slam dunk in. Again, like I said, I know you watched the review, Calvin, so it's a slam dunk given those ranges. I think that the initial open is always tighter than that, though. People are never opening that wide into a 6 big blind small blind. Double Buddha says, hey, Nick, I have an update for you. I'll message you on Discord. All right, all right. I look forward to it, mate. Give me the update. Tom says, I think my last drink was back in November. Here's the problem, Tom. Here's the problem. Tom's so fancy because he hasn't had a drink since November. He's so fancy. He's a family man. Of course he's not out there fucking drinking, partying all the time. Now, bring old Nick to town. Let's see how long Tom stays sober then. That's what I want to see. Let's get Nick over to Philly. Let's get him to Tom's neck of the woods. Let's see how long he stays sober then. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to see. I think it's very honorable to be a family man. But, you know, people have expectations of old Uncle Nick. People come to Brighton and they're like, hey, oh, I'm in town. How you doing, Nick? Oh, yeah, do you remember back when we used to? Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. I don't want to go. Please don't make me go. Yeah, unknown player, 3x steal. 10-6 is probably still going to be a call here, I would imagine. How incredibly tight do we have to play here? We're going to start with a 1 big blind c-bet on the 3-heart board. I would be tempted to potentially 2-barrel here. I think our opponents will have lots of random hearts. Some 10x, some 3x might still fold. I don't think we have to go big, though. I think this is probably sufficient. Snap call. Okay, the snap call's got me bluffing river. I'm gonna blast off here now, guys. I think our opponent's going to have too many 1-pair hearts and stuff like that. Fair, fair, fair. I think that's definitely reasonable. But also, that is the kind of combo that still might find a fold on the 3-heart king turn. I like this move. I think the line is good here. Our opponent doesn't want to fold a queen, fair enough. But I do think that we're actually putting some of those combos in a bad spot as well quite often. So I'm feeling good about that line. Like, obviously, when we get to showdown there, we can just have the best hand with ace-high if they have bare missed hearts, but we're trying to get some of those other pairs to fold as well. Just out of interest, let's put that one in the review category. I think there's something to be learned there for sure. Yeah, Limp Jam Ace Tray I don't think is a thing here, but we will take those. Let's bring the self-proclaimed I only drink occasionally Nick Walsh to town to show me how it's done. I mean, it's true. It's actually true. Sorry, we have a question from a first-time chatter here. Oh, KT, please. Huddle. Fuck off. Aransika says, hey, Nick, a bit of a stupid question. If you play anonymous against other anonymous players, is it still important that your game is balanced? I can't take notes on other players. Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from. There are websites like that. So if you are completely anonymous, the answer is kind of no. But there's different kinds of balance, right? So sometimes you do things for balance sake, and sometimes you do things for balance because you're supposed to like have a mix of things that you do. Trap turn. Okay, fine. He definitely has a high card. We're gonna slight overbet this river because they never fold ace high, king high on this river. So you don't need to be balanced in the sense that it's important that you turn up with the bad hands because you're balancing the strength. But you do want to do certain things. Can't fold yet. However, you are going to want to. There are certain things that you do some of the time just because you're supposed to do them some of the time, not strictly because of like. What's a good example? Like there are spots where you're supposed to like raise really big when you have ace king, and then you balance it with some of the weakest stuff at the bottom. To be fair, part of the reason you do that is to try and turn those hands into more profitable combos. So that's not strictly for balance either, but that might be the closest example I can think of right now on the spot. But in short. Not nearly as much. Yeah. Calvin says, do you have any rule of thumb for king-queen suited preflop? Ace-X is always ahead as well as pairs. So they are, but not by much, Calvin. Like that's the thing you have to remember is like there are quite a few situations where king-queen is like a combo that you play similarly to ace-10. In the sense that you know it has a lot of the same characteristics where it's going to have similar equity profile, but then if you do run into ace deuce and you have king queen suited, you're not losing much equity. So like just because it's not the best hand when you get called by ace deuce doesn't mean that it's still not a hand that we want to play very aggressively. Jack and a 7 all in here pre. I don't know why he's calling 8-5 off here. This is not good. Calling a jam here with 7.5 big blinds with 8-5 off is not a thing. So there's not really any rule of thumb. It depends in what capacity you mean, Calvin. So like, if you see me play king-queen in a certain way, it's because I've probably studied it, and it's meant to be played that way, just in that spot, at that stack depth, from that position, whatever. But the one thing I would say is king-queen suited is one of those that's very good to play like aggressively pre-flop, both in 3-bet category and 3-bet jam category, because it just ends up having tons of equity against hands that like to call. And yes, ace-X is technically ahead of king-queen, but it's often not by an amount that you need to be that concerned about. If your opponent's range is so strong that it's going to contain a lot of ace-king, ace-queen, then obviously you need to be more concerned. But in spins, ranges are so wide that's not as much of a thing. This is the player we lost the 1-2-5 to yesterday with ace-king. Lol, min ISO. We're not folding. Interesting turn. Might slow him down a little bit. That is possibly the worst river in the deck. There is an opportunity for us to check bluff this river, though. Queen 5 is good. Nice. Our opponent here has King 10 of diamonds. Zell. Oh, we're going 3 ways to the flop. I think we just start with a bet here. We're getting min check raise. We're not folding yet. Pick up a gut shot on the turn. Can't call the 6. So, for example, shoving king queen here is probably good. Calling is also probably reasonable. Let's do this. Probably the same move with ace 10. And 7s we're going to limp and hopefully get him to put some more chips in here pre-flop and shove. We have notes that this player likes to attack limps very aggressively. That is probably the worst turn, given the fact that we check raise here as a bluff. Our opponent isn't going to have an ace here very often, but they will have a queen plenty. Really annoying spot, because I definitely had a plan for this move, for this one. 7s is probably not the best combination to be making this play, but I just know my opponent is not going to have much on that flop. Like, they're going to have complete air that has equity against 7s, but then also, like, they will just have a queen or a 10, and we can get them off that with check raise and then play the hand aggressively. Complete air ball. All right. Let's work on this here. Tornier says, I'd be the worst to show you how it's done. I actually scare myself when I drink. I'm the epitome of a binge drinker. We're going to check the river. We're going to call a bet, though. That is kind of annoying. We turn to the 9 at the same time. And he's limping the button with 8-9 off as well. There's just a lot going on here. Please have 6s. How many aces in this deck? Are you kidding me? That is so scum, honestly. Legitimately a monster. How much equity do we have with 7s here? That's so nasty. $46.7% to win the game. Like, literally for all the chips. Nice hand, buddy. Fair play, though. Fair play. Fair play. Hello, Elcat over on YouTube. Also, Nick Greek, hello. Today I got destroyed in all the tournaments I played yesterday. I won 3 tournaments with a 10-euro buy-in. I don't know what's wrong with poke today. Even if you play decent, something always happens. Amen, buddy. I feel you. I feel you. That's how spins are going for us right now. Ah, stupid. What's up, John? Good to see you, dude. By the way, John, we got to play some Arc Raiders, don't we? I still haven't played a single second of Arc Raiders. Not a single second of Arc Raiders. But we definitely need to get in there. Mr. Zhao. Joaquin. Bluff. That is not an approved bluff, by the way, guys. That is not an approved behavior, but I'm going to go for the power jam. Tony Tyson says, regarding drinking, years have taught me that I can't play poker while I'm drinking. That was the problem, Tony. I've always done all right having a few drinks and playing poker. Sometimes I've done all right having more than a few drinks and playing poker. Not approved. Do not approve of this behavior. What I would say is actually that as I get older, that's less true. When I was younger, I was a lot better at that. 4 in a tray. Take it away. No, Jack Deuce is not going to cut it here. Ace 4 is going to go in the 2x multi, especially. It's going to go anyway. Doesn't matter about the multi, but the 2x multi means we want to go a bit faster. 7s is going to fall into this category. So we are at, here we go. Jack 4, we're going to sneak into a limp. This is not the best flop for us. I don't know. If we're going to sneak in with these wider ranges, I don't think we want to get too caught up in these encounters where we don't have much going on. Queen 7 to diamonds. Queen 7, no backdoors. Queen high is probably good enough to float here anyway, but I think I want a backdoor to do it IRL. Ace 5, let's go. Even Stevens. Oh, man, this is so gross. Ace 10, any good? How does he have kings? What's going on, guys? Ace! I'm so sick of running into it. Just give him normal hands. King, queen. You know, king, queen's a monster. Give him king, queen. Stop giving him the monsters. It was a GTO approved bluff. Mr. Swain, you like that one? Also, can you play what was the name of that one game? It came out some time ago. It looks so sick. It's called. Okay, I tell you what. If I can't even remember the name, I don't deserve to play it. I'm not allowed to play any more video games until I sort out my brain. My memory is so bad these days. It's fucking embarrassing. Right. Ace 10 of the Spaderoos. That is a pretty good flop. How is my opponent supposed to have anything here? Not a dime. Not a dime, chat. Not a dime. Not an actual single dime. My opponent has ace 4 of diamonds. We weren't going to win anything anyway. So watches out for the working man. Has Steak Nick retired from golfing? I don't know. I want to say no, but also that app had so many issues, and it was made worse by the fact that Strag had to point it out every single time. Now I'm not saying he was wrong. It was more annoying that he was right. But Mr. Swain says, nice flop. Can you complete the ace-10 suited there as well? I think he can. I think he can. Nah. Thank you for the follow. That was D-Drum. What's up? What is up, Monfrere? He watches out for the working man. Two live cards. Drawing dead. Nice hand. Next game, please. I feel like it might be too soon to retire Thick Nick, but I'm excited to try something new. Right? What was the name of this fucking game? Oh, I'm Rick James. Rick James in the big blind. Path of the Exile. That was what it was called. Path of the Exile 2. That's what it was. Can you play Path of the Exile online? Can you play it multiplayer? Single player MMO online co-op. Nice. That might be fun. I'm not sure if that's as much fun to watch as Arc Raiders. All right, we're going to bet big on the turn. House want blood. So MMO online co-op. The Doom theme would go well with this stream, just saying. Hashtag death by quads. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yo, check raise 10. Hello, how you doing? Welcome. Not quite. I think that's not quite there. Could be wrong. Quads just to rub it in, exactly. Mr. Swain says, do you always play sevens like that at this stack? No, I think that's a mix, but I could be wrong again as well. This is starting to get really close to a call now. We'll take this one. I'm going to mark this for review, but I think it's only 6 bigs, right? 7 bigs. With the additional dead money as well, and a 2x multi. Let's mark that one for reviews. Do not chop this pot. What? This is still early access? What? Early access. Path of the XL2 is an action RPG which is about making powerful characters, getting epic loot. Game is in early access. The games in early access are not complete and may be subject to change. What do you say? Rick James says, Nick, you are live. Yes, I am. I'm aware of that, mate. And ace 10 no good, huh? Rick James says, okay, Rick James just says, Nick, you are live. I am live. You're absolutely right. There is a 90-second delay, however, of course. Am I missing something? I'm not. I'm live with delay, yes. Right, Path of the Exile. Recent reviews are mixed. Check the river. Can't call. Having the 7 and the spade there, I think we got to call. I mean, if we check that flop, right, what we're saying is, if we check that flop, what we're saying is, you know, you can take this away, but we're kind of under-repping what we actually holds. Betting flop, I think, is bad. If we bet like we're only getting called, we're not value betting, really. Checking, we can actually catch some bluffs, and obviously we still have that pretty considerable draw. John says, Path of the Exile, not my jam. Fair enough. Yeah. That's fair. Folding this one. And Jack 6 is a clear push here. Blind v blinds. Queen Deuce no good.
Put my last $10 in. This game's a game that I can't win. But if I fold, I'm in the win.
Yeah, we're just going to keep this as a straight push.
I don't think it's right to ask you not to play.
Ace 9 of spades, very reasonable. Get in here.
That's okay. And if you win it, I hope it makes you happy. Ooh, and if you don't, you don't have to tell me. Ooh, chips in the
Yeah, I definitely want to try this game myself, but I don't know if that's one that we want to watch on stream. I think our graders would be way better. All right, if we can get heads up against a player on the right, we should have a good shot at the 1-2-5. I would say we have a decent shot against Radev, but he's also a pretty good reg. All right, let's go to a flop with the KJ. Wow! More exclamations. In fact, don't we have a command for this? Queen and a 10, baby. Back to 19 big blinds. Ace 5 open. Tough. Was this me? This was me trying on super expert mode like day one. That was with a mouse as well, to be fair. I can't believe you found that clip. That's so good, Tom. I love that. That's a really good one. Nick Greek over on YouTube says, brother, leave poker, play Tetris. Honestly, the way we're running today, that's not a bad shot. All right, come on now. 1-2-5. Let's win this shit. I'm looking forward to building the new office, though, guys. That's going to happen pretty soon. I'm going to get some people in to develop some sort of a desk space here. All right, buddy. I know what you're like, so I'm just going to bet the flop. Queen high like a boss. Nah, we're gonna open up here. We're gonna lean into this one. And now we're value betting the river. I was gonna blast off this river anyway, but we're gonna do this. He's got a 7. He must have a 7. Got him. Got him. Okay, he's got 10-7 off. The snap check gives it away there. If we do not hit the queen, we're going to go for all of it, and we'll get the fold. It'll be magnificent. It will be magnificent. Yeah, Mr. Greek, I know, buddy. I know. Trust me, I know. I know what that feels like, mate. But we grind. That's what we do. On a steel horse I ride. I'm a cowboy. Dead or alive. No, we can't call with Jack Trey. We can call with Ace 8. We can do it, chat. Can we do it? Can we do it? Hey. No, it's not activated. Sometimes it works on open. Sometimes it doesn't. Not sure what that's about. Yeah, it's not running right now. Just fold. All right. Domination situation. Please hold. Let's go. Heads up. 1-2-5. That is many buy-ins. That is many buy-ins. All right, we got this, guys. We're actually going to limp jam the ace-6 here against the reg, if we need to. Reg v reg, the ISO here can be exploited. For example, no. Oh, when the exploit goes wrong. Oh, no. I say exploit, it's GTO, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a trap against a reg because we actually can trap those. It's just whatever, dude. We're not dead yet. Queen and a 7, baby. Cursed. The Hokish says, I've been in the same position. The difference was that I paid $250 for a $1,250 prize pool, and I lost versus a pro player. His name was Vendetta. I know the player. Yeah, he's a good player. He crushes your spirit. Ollie in the chat, by the way. I didn't say hi yet. All right. Well, that was a good game for us. Excuse me. Yeah, that was a good game. The Queen 7 spot as well, the running hearts, is a very, very, very sad story. Okay, let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep grinding. That is what we can do. That's the objective here. Keep the grind on.
Dealer said, buying it. I say, yeah, just one more spin.
The rent down like an empty bottle of gin.
Coffee cup, 2-day shirt. Get buried like dirt.
I've been broke so long when it feels like work. Now I rake it in. Chip by chip. Slow and thin. I came to rake it in. Stack on stack to the ceiling. Feels like love, feels like healing. What's up, Zephian? My Twitch is going weird. Been having a problem with the channel points for a while, and just now my 20 stream share comment showed for me, but then disappeared. That is weird. Every once in a while, Twitch has some weird bugs, dude. All right, we are playing a 2x multiplier, therefore I will default to pushing King Deuce. We are probably in King Deuce jamming range anyway, but if we wanted to deviate, these aren't the ones to do it. Here just to always win, I came to rake it in. Stack on stack to the ceiling. What the fuck?
You ask if it changed me, I shrug and say some. Bills get paid on time now, but the past still hums. Money's just a jacket, keeps you warm till spring. It don't fix everything, but it sure helps things.
Trapping Kings. Yeah, to be fair, this is going in the middle no matter what.
Why is poker so fucking hard?
Next game, please.
When you said it was over, knew I'd be back in the van. Heading north on 87 with a deck of cards in my hand. And the words to a story about a girl I love that I would tell to the locals when I went out to play for their bucks. But I came home from out west with nothing, and I went back out.
Soda Pop says still on a steady incline. Not this year. We are. I think we're winning EV today. I think we're winning EV today, but we're overall the graph is like this. Whoop-oo. Whoop-oo. However, it's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. We're just going to grind. That's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're just going to grind. We're not going to talk about the bullshit. We're just going to grind. We're just going to min-raise Jack-8 of diamonds like a boss. We're going to min-raise Jack-8 of diamonds like a boss. We're going to fire the ace-high board like a boss. pretty straightforward stuff.
I felt it in my eyes. I see you and I scream. Oh God, you got me. So good, it's so unfair. You know you got me there. I'm a sinner, but I pray. Oh God, I can't wait to play. So you got me good. So you got me good.
Straight me up, please. Tom says, "Will you apply for partner?" Yeah, I will, Tom. Yeah, at some point. I don't know. I think we're really close to qualifying. It's hilarious. I mean, it took us so long to get to partner when we were back in the OP poker days. Uh, how do we do this? Settings, moderation, monetization, affiliate. I am an affiliate apparently, but how do I become partner again? Ace nine of spades, of course. Why not? Why not, bro? Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes, Tom. I'm trying to figure out where the hell that is. Monetization. Sponsorships. Affiliates. Yeah. Home. Give chat badges to your subs. I don't even have chat badges. We need some chat badges. AK. Oh. It's interesting. That's poker for you. At least today is bright. I mean, don't know. We're running pretty bad today. You can probably say that you branched off from OP Poker and maybe they'll grandfather you into it. Probably. It's a good point, Tom. I can't even find the screen where you're supposed to look at it now. It's usually really obvious, I think. Stream channel. Stream survey, no. Monetization, ads, bits, cheering, community, sponsorships. So there's a page that says affiliate. YCE, thank you very much for the follow. YCE Manlever. Rad Renner, thank you for the follow as well. Okay, path to partner. Here you go. Oh, it's in achievements. So I see. Okay, cool. Yeah. So pretty much I'm on track to get there anyway. I see. It works in a 30-day cycle. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I'll probably qualify for it naturally anyway, Tom. But yeah, you're right. I should include that other information. I'm pretty sure for a little while the Twitch partnership meant that you weren't allowed to stream on YouTube as well at the same time, but they changed that really quickly, didn't they? How has live poker been? Live poker's been fine. I haven't played any tournaments this year. I am playing a tournament next Tuesday. However, if you guys want to watch, that will be broadcast. Can't promise that I will be on the feature table, but basically that's going to be next Tuesday. And that will be on the Hippodrome Live channel. So we'll be streaming from London, Leicester Square at the Hippodrome. It's their monthly live event that they run. Yeah, you probably Soda Pop. You will still be a follower unless you've unfollowed. I think the channel is still there. I think everything is still there from OP. Trapping sevens? Can we get any action?
Ooh, I put my last $10 in. This game's a game that I can't win. But if I fold, I'm in the win. I don't think it's right.
Oh, we worked on this one yesterday, didn't we, guys? We worked on this sizing. If my opponent has a 4, they're about to win a pot. Huh. That's a strange one. That's a strange one. That is a strange river, wouldn't you guys say? Okay, so we're going to note down the 8s because I want to just double check I'm using the right size. We worked on those boards yesterday during yesterday's study session, and I'm pretty sure that the overpair is like the big size there. Just so happens that we played the hand like an absolute fucking genius. And Lull River. Hilarious spot. Well done, mate. Very good. When asked how old am I, say alive. Syntax says, are we complaining about the river? I didn't say a word. Didn't say a word. Didn't say a word. Very calm. I didn't say a word, chat. I didn't say a word. Not a single word. Not a single word. Spades! Spades! Calling for spades, baby. Let's go. Here, wait for it. He gives you a little wave. He gives you a little wave. A little sharky wave.
Shrug and say some bills get paid on time now, but the past still hums. Money's just a jacket, keeps you warm till spring. It don't fix everything, but it sure helps things. Yeah, I rake it in, chip by chip, slow and thin. Didn't come here just to
Right. Okay, the most unbalanced limp of all time. Gonna get all the action. All the action. All the action. All the action. How does he have ace king? Infinite EV. Infinite EV. That should have just been in pre-flop so hard. But there we are. Happy days. A little bit of retribution. Little bit of retribution. We don't mind that. We do not mind that one little bit. Straight into jacks. Never mind. Nice. Lucky in the 2x multi. Why not? Sure. All right, really quick, guys. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm just making some notes. Cool. Nice game. Tom says I run so bad. Are you kidding me? Are you watching the same stream, Tom? You can't say that right now. We've been very calm. There's been minimal complaining. All right, Tom, very minimal. And we are bombing today. We are bombing. Don't you dare say that today. Literally all of the run good that we had that first couple streams is gone. It's been wiped off the planet. It's no longer with us. It's dead. We had our moment in the sun, and now it's back to service. Service resumes as normal here, all right? Straight into ace king, huh? Straight into ace king, because why not? My God. Normal service resumes. Tom, retract that statement immediately. Oh! Hello, 10X. All right, so second place in this is $50. We're taking notes on anything that is a 10X multiplier or higher all throughout the year. So we will have documented evidence of every single large to huge multiplier that we get throughout the year. This might be a session saver, chat. Let's focus up here. Let's make this count. I'm all in. Hogan says, you know which players regularly play the $1,000 spins? I definitely know some that play them, but I'm not in frequent contact with them. This is a really problematic spot. We are so capped in this situation. We are so capped in this spot. We probably should just fold flop, honestly. Against the reg, he's going to blast off. I'm not saying he has an ace there every time. It's just... as soon as I see myself making the call, I'm going, it doesn't matter what we do here. Unless we're willing to call down with a 7, we probably shouldn't be calling flop there in that particular... if it goes raise and we call in the big blind, we actually will have some ace combos. Once it goes raise, small blind calls, we end up having much, much less. All right. 250 calling my name here. Go on, run good this time, Nick. Yeah, baby. Nice spot for us here. Love to run good in the big multis. And heads up. What's up, Broke? Friend of the stream, by the way. We actually even have him in the friend of the stream colors. All right, even Stevens. Thank you very much for the follow, Post Poker SXM. I think our hand is strong enough to barrel twice here, guys. Let's do this. Oh, this is so brutal. Oh my God, this is brutal. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Having nines is particularly bad here because we want him to have a combo draw when he check jams the turn, and the 9 is obviously a part of that. All right, we're going to go for all of it here on the river, guys. No, we're not, actually. We're going to do this. Let's do that. He has 5-4 here, apparently. Wow. It's a sick move. We get paid with a 10-9, though. Back in the driver's seat. Got called here by Ace-9. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, the 9s is definitely close for sure. Hokage, I agree. It's definitely going to be a close one. Have a gut shot here, and 2 overcards to the 8s. So Hokage, I think that there's a couple hands that I play like that, and then I call the turn. Like as having 9s in particular, I think is quite bad for us. Like I said, like you kind of want him to have like a straight draw and a flush draw to check jam the turn. Yeah, he's a good player. Brooke again's a really good player. A friend of the stream as well. So like I would definitely consider I would definitely consider calling there. Please! No! Oh, mates. I would definitely consider calling there, but I think we can call. We're probably just going to call with the combos that don't block the combo draws that we really want him to have. All right, 4 big blinds and a comeback. Let's go. Oh! Hilarious. Comeback is real. Think about it this way. Do you really need that money? That's a good question.
Somebody told me God watches out for the working man.
I think we're going to bluff here, guys. I'm going to try and rep this tray. Wish me luck.
God sure has a funny way of showing.
This would be a hilarious slow roll. He could still call me with king high here. Oh! Where's the winky face? A hard one to bluff, but I'm sure you can find some. We have managed to hit a jack here. We've managed to hit a jack. He's going to call us with a 7. He's going to call us with a 7. All right. Hilo Yo liked it. This is probably slightly better. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely not getting a 9 to fold on the turn. So I like this line. Pretty close in chips here. I'd say against the reg, we're just going to push the 10-8. Definitely approved. All right, we can definitely get called by worse here. A little ace-deuce of clubs. Like I said, go on, let him live. Let him live. Let him live. It's not over yet, chat. Please. It's so close. The 10x is so close. The 10x is so close. Please. Please, chat. We're so close. Can we take it down? We can take it down. Oh, unlucky there, buddy. Unlucky to my friend. Broke again. Legitimately a very good spin and go player. And the comeback was on the cards for us. GG. $200 in the bank after a very, very savage encounter. Just out of interest, actually, the pocket fours hand, like shoving pocket fours there at 16 or 17 effective. I'm going to refresh my memory here, but I'm pretty sure that the fours is actually a limp jam. The fours is probably a limp jam until we get to around 15 of effective. I think I might have overplayed that one. Don't get me wrong, the shove is going to be profitable. The shove is fine. But the twos and the trays will definitely be a push. I think I'm going to double check the fours. Shoving pocket fours there is obviously not going to be a bad thing. It's just we want to make sure that we're doing everything as optimally as possible. Possibro. I think ultimately that specific hand will end up in the middle. I think it goes limp, big ISO shove. Almost positive, basically. There we go. I don't see how 6-5 is a call. It's either raise or hope for a bluff. Oh, you mean pre-flop? What, at 9 big blinds effective, Hokage? 6-5 off. That's the only 6-5 that I have. Can you clarify which one you meant? Anyway, nice. Let's go ahead and make some notes as well. Just really quick, guys. Sorry. Right, sorry guys, I just need to do the notes now, otherwise I forget. So that was another 10x, and that was a win. So just so you guys are on the same page, we've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Sorry. We've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10x multipliers since the start of the year. We've won 3, and we've come second in the others, so we've cashed in all of them so far. That was a big saver there as well in terms of the dollares. That was a good fight, though. Yeah. We managed to get a couple cool bluffs in there as well. Yeah, my name is Mike. I think 4 is the limp jam. It was 16 or 17, but I think once we get to 15, we start to push it more. I think it was a bit of a premature all-in. It's going to be fine. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a losing play, but it's definitely going to be one we want to look at. Club. Going to call Nash against the reg there. That seems fine.
Chase it all. Watch my running little circles slide across that field. Already there. I lost my last dollar on a maybe, on a good shot.
Small blind 6-5 is a folder erased for me. I wouldn't dare to call with it. The risk is too big. MO. Better give it directly or try to bluff. Can't see how 6-5 hoping for luck is profitable. I'm pretty sure it's a call. I could mark it for review, buddy, but it's... it might be too wide. Yeah, fair enough. Like, we can mark that for review. But we're still at like 9 effective. I'm pretty sure it's in there. We're not really taking that big of a risk by risking half a big blind and entering with a playable hand. But happy to take a look at that one, buddy. Once we start to get shallow, we do take out like quite a lot of our weaker things, but I think that's enough. We definitely don't raise it. We definitely don't steal with it. But we can look that one up. That's a pretty straightforward pre-flop spot. That's one that's not that. What is this? That's better. That's one of those spots where, like, the pre-flop math is going to be like really accurate. We don't have to make too many adjustments for like IRL world. Robbie Trev says, I don't think it's simply hoping for luck. When the big blind checks, the flop is ace, king, queen high. We're likely to just take it down. Yeah, exactly. It's not. We're not limping 6-5 trying to flop a straight. We're limping 6-5 to play a hand in position. It's like it's more of a VPIP exercise than it is like a hand strength thing. There's like the mathematics of the frequency, right? So like if we're limping too much at that stack depth, our opponent will run us over. So we take out some of the weakest stuff, but 6-5 is still very playable in position. Yeah, exactly. The problem is more like if the reg likes to take the piss and ISO a lot. That's what Robbie is saying is completely accurate in my view. That's how I perceive that spot. Nick can't complain about running bad the rest of the 2026 after that 10x. Thomas! Oh, what a run out. Come on, give us some chips. Bluff the river. You can value bet, I guess, as well. Okay, if he's checking, that means he has a deuce or an 8. People hate folding those hands. People hate folding those hands. Does Nick run go good? Poll ended. Oh my god. We can shove Jack 7 here against this player. We're going to play it smooth. My guy didn't want to bluff last hand, so we're going to play it smooth. Elite play 1. Hurry the F up. All right, there we go. I love how I say hurry the F up like I'm not swearing like a sailor here. Jack and an 8. We got live cards. It's not the run out we're looking for, though. Pretty standard tings, though. Pretty standard tings. Hoker says, I would love to see the thought process behind it all. I just found it interesting. We agree a lot on decisions, though. You have a lot more of a safer playstyle than me. But then we're not far off each other. Fair enough. I think that... I think also it can be quite difficult to... Like, you know, Hokage, you've watched the stream a couple times, right? It can be really difficult to get a full perspective on the way that I place certain spots. I have had like more than one person say, "Oh, I've watched your streams and I think you play quite like, you know, conservatively." I think that is maybe true from the perspective of that's probably true. I'm probably on the more conservative side of like extremely aggressive regs, but probably also not conservative at all. Like if that makes sense. I've had quite a few people come and say like, yeah, I watched a couple of your streams and it felt like you were like, you know, you were limping a lot. So I think you're just scared to like get chips in the middle. But it's more like the limping strategy is balanced, and that means we're allowed to play really aggressively in other situations, or we're limping very aggressively in certain spots so that we're allowed to have more traps. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult to sort of like simplify like that. But honestly, if you were to compare me to some of my peers, probably would be on the more cautious side. I know some of my friends are super aggro. I'm just gonna bet the turn if he checks the flop. Okay, we're gonna get away from that one otherwise. If we're gonna sneak in those wider limps against the unknown players, we need to be careful. Sorry, guys. All right, we have a 7. We won't be folding on the flop. Let's see how it goes, though. This is a limped pot, so I'm not really sure if we're going to get away on the turn ever. Question is whether or not we hero call rivers now. Nice. Queen's very reasonable. Although the limp is something that we want to be aware of course. All right, straight into the frying pan with the 9s. When they rip 19 bigs, we should crush all the small pairs that they have in this range. How many aces in this deck? How many times? That's the second time today. Oh, the dream pair spot. 2 players with big aces, and they both hit the ace. PokerStars. How many aces in this deck? How dare you? All right, one sec. Let's take some notes here really quick. Limp button, multi-way, 20 effective was queen. 2-barrel, queen, ace, L. There. All right, good note for future. Pocket 9's very unlucky. Next game, please. I mean, honestly, just not right. The Omega Super Dream Pocket Nines never lose a spot. Yo, Peter, what's up in the YouTube chat? Hello, thank you for the GG. All right, winning flips for the 75 bucks. PokerStars Classic. Yeah, Tournament Classic, exactly. All pretty standard stuff, though, eh? Ace and a 9 must be a slam dunker. Queen Jack of clubs, mandatory spend here. Yeah, the queen tray is a good push, though. Definitely going to be fine to be all in with queen tray there at that stack depth. Ace deuce, got to go here. $75, easy money. Easy money. Syntax. Yes, mate. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Think about it this way. Do you really need the money? Exactly. Get those 100 zoom hands so I can get the throwable. Do you know how much longer that promotion is running for, by the way, Tom? Yeah, I should probably get that started. So, partner application. Do you already have an established audience on YouTube or TikTok? It has to be YouTube or TikTok? Why is that important? Happy. Oh, we learned something about this one, guys. We learned about this one. We learned about this one, chat. We learned about this one. Ah, we learned about this one. We learned about this one. Okay, wait a second, everyone. Everyone chill out. 1 second. We're marking this for review, and we're going to confirm that we're allowed to raise 10 tray of hearts there. We are going to confirm that we have studied and we possibly have gotten good at something, maybe. We might have actually improved at poker. I know it's shocking. I know, shocker, but we'll see. Scowy D says, be good to see you play Spin and Go Maxes. Can you do one? We can play one for stream, absolutely. But I'm not a Spin Max fan. I never have been. New version, old version. We can play one for fun though if you want, Scowy. Max Hold'em, $25 Spin Max. Why not? Take this flop. Gonna lead the turn, excuse me. And we're gonna shut this game down. Our friend, in fact, he's not just a reg. He's definitely a friend of the stream. Chow is definitely a friend of stream. Yeah. Chow is my friend on stream and on YouTube, on Instagram, excuse me. You have until the end of the year. I mean, it would be weird if that was if that promotion was only for like a month. Or there's a couple that are like a lot of volume. All right, we're gonna limp KT here. We're calling it jam. And that is the large ISO that we slam in the King 10 against. Fives is correct here. This is textbook from both players, though, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we go. That's nice. All right, let's go ahead and mark that one as well. Again, so I just want to double-check that fives is a large ISO. I'm almost positive it is. And I want to double-check that King 10 is a push for a large ISO. Again, this is not dissimilar from a hand we looked at yesterday. Pretty sure it's textbook. All right, so for our new first-time chatter, Scowy D, let's play a Spin Max. The only issue I think we're going to encounter here, Scowy, is it might not fill. The 25s will run, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those things where they have to have a certain number of players in the queue because, of course, it's a randomized number of players to begin, right? So they have to start with the max number of players before it goes. Oh, at least they're using. I think they're using the new avatar, unless that's going to disappear when it regs. All right, Sky, we'll give it a couple minutes, buddy. If it doesn't fill, though, we're going to move on. So this is what the new avatar is supposed to look like. I updated it, and then I realized that this picture. It was cropped in a way where it was being covered up in some cases, so I moved it over again, but I'm not sure if they've approved it yet. Come on, Spin Max. Let's see if the 10 will run. Okay, the 10 run on register. All right. 5-handed 10 max. Wish me luck, guys. Here we go. Okay, those are some good prizes. Wait, no, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think those are pretty good prizes. Yeah, there is a new profile pic. It's not showing now, though. Lexington says, good luck today, Nick. Do you have any experience with kickoff win rates? I know variance is big with those bounties, but the pool seems notoriously fishy, especially with the level ladders. You're right. That was my assessment. It's been a long time since I played it, but basically, I'm not sure if I have access to it anymore, Lex. But basically, I did a series of challenges with kickoff when we were still doing OP poker. It was like I did like 2 or 3 bankroll challenges. If I remember correctly, $125 kickoff for the stream. We could do that as well. So if I remember correctly, the ROI potential was very high. I can't remember exactly what the number was, but it was very high for a hyper, extremely high for a hyper, in fact. However, it was super, super high variance, like even more so than spins. So, I don't know. I can't remember what the number is. Let me see. It might actually be... The ending of one is still on NickWalshTV. The biggest issue that I had with this challenge, if I can find the result, was that it just wasn't enough volume to really get any real, like, really detailed insight. But I believe one of the first content pieces that I released after I became NickWalshTV was about kickoff. This is a $10 buy-in, Tom. I tried to do the 25, but it was... here you go. So, okay, Lexington, this is about Grand Tour, but the Grand Tour is exactly the same as Kickoff. The only thing that I would add, however, is that... I don't remember if this one had the $60... Wow, that was a bit of a delay. Yeah, okay, cool. We lost that flip. All right, well, while we're taking requests, let's play a $25 heads kickoff as well. This one will run right away, I imagine. Anyway, yeah, so I don't remember. I think this is after they changed it so that it was the same as kickoff. Okay, cool. Never mind. This is fine. So here you go, Lexington. Here you go. Take a look at this. So basically, at the end of everything, so starting from the 5s when it was Grand Tour, I had a 13.48% ROI. And then when I went up to the 12s, starting just at the 12s, it was 4%. However, that 4% was with the caveat that we never hit any major multipliers over a decent sample. So basically, and you can see how volatile it was as well. So basically, I think that there is an opportunity for those games to have a very large ROI for a hyper. Like we could be thinking, I mean, could be like, 5% plus on average. But you will be playing a lot of poker, and you will be stomaching tons of variance. And also, it's been a while since I've played, so, I don't know. All right, let's see if this runs. Otherwise, we'll get back to the spins, guys. All All right, we have a game. So remember, guys, this is kickoff. If you guys haven't seen this before, this is about more than just playing the four-handed winner-take-all. We also are aiming to we're also hoping to stack players for bounties as well. And the bounties can have much larger values than what are displayed. The bounties are randomized here. Yeah, Winter Olympics and World Cup. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm going to bluff. This guy's limping over here. So covering both players in this spot, we might actually really do well by playing like this. We should actually pick up a ton of big blinds in this situation regardless. We have the added benefit of the coverage, which makes this like ridiculously good for us, basically. Start with the one big blind here. Kickoff is on mobile, I believe. Pretty sure. If we're not getting check raised, I'm probably going to go for two big bombs. King would have been nice. Now, this is a tricky one, guys, because we are blocking ace-king. Our opponents have not really represented two pair, which means they're going to end up having like a jack and a 9 quite often or a jack and a king quite often. I think I'm going to go for 3 here. Wish me luck. Fair enough. Queen Trey is a good hand. World class there. World class. Interesting that the queen trade just check calls turn. I think that like a lot of players will play that more aggressively. I'm not saying that's what you should do necessarily, but there we are. Kind of unlucky that he runs into that. I think the 3 barrels might work on occasion against a random queen X, especially if it's that low. The tray ends up being a bit of a red herring, right? Where are you located, Scowie? There's a chance that it might just not be in your country at all because it's got this this jackpot element. Depending on your location, it might not be on your client because I think that there are certain components of this game that are not. Oh, you found it. Okay, cool. There were definitely some territories that couldn't have it. Sad story. The 3-barrel bluff was a sad story, it seems. Tripling off into 2 pair, never good, right? Okay, let's wait again. All right. Dankel says, I miss Grand Tour, although the structure was similar to Kickoff. I was a big bike racing fan. Yeah, so it was originally designed for the French market, I believe. It was meant to like mirror you know, Tour de France or something like that, I think. Everyone's absolutely despo to get my bounty here, by the way. Everyone is despo for the booty here. Next hand. I'll be forced all in. Six, 7 of diamonds is comeback territory. Yeah, this is annoying. I can only call. I don't get any protection. Top pair? Heart's no good. Heart's no good. Oh, 6 is good. Let's go. Comeback time. 5 big blinds in a dream. Feels good. All right, here we go. Oh, domination, the full comeback. What in the fuck do you call that turn? We love the river, though. Let's go. Let's go. Our opponent's probably correct in calling there, by the way. All right, so we definitely have a shot here, gang. How much can you win in kickoff? It can be very, very big, but it's a lot like spins. You have to get the multiplier. So if we can actually eliminate a player here, if we can eliminate any player, you'll see how it works. But basically, it's like a spin every time you knock someone out. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. None of that, please. None of that. Okay, watch. You'll see in a sec. Okay, sorry, you can't see it, but basically he got $15.40 from my bounty. Okay, I'm playing again. Life tilt.
Heading north on 87 with a deck of cards in my hand. And the words to a story about a girl I love that I would tell to the locals when I went out to play for their bucks. But I came home from out west with nothing, and I went back out east with nothing, and I've been down.
If anybody wants a game, come and join now. We're gonna play one more. We're gonna play one more kickoff because I'm not having that shit. Lexington, though, I generally, it's always been my suspicion that kickoff games are very, 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 very soft. Might be one of the softest games on Stars. However, the variance is pretty nuts. However, potentially might be worthwhile. The thing is, like, if you're trying to reg a 25 and it takes, it's obviously waiting for players to qualify from lower levels, so it makes sense that this would take time to fill. But, like, if you wanted to sit and blast volume on here, these pauses will obviously slow up the volume. All right. Enough. Going back to spins. And we're not playing spin max. All right, let's play a poker. We have a gut shots. 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 We have a gut shot, chats. And finally, a gut shot is going to pay dividends. Not a gut shot. Gut shot and 2 overcards. Easy game. Gut shot plus overcards. Easy game. It's like a ladder and lottery system. You can win several $100s with just one buy-in. Correct. Yeah, and if you play from the very bottom, you can qualify up to the 25 for very cheaply. Limp this one. Balance check. Balance check, huh? Question is, do I believe this man? Can we play aces like an idiot and then get away from it like this? Seems unlikely. Seems unlikely, chat. Yeah, nice. Can we play aces to try and induce, and then when we actually induce them, we go, oh no, he must have trips. $10 and a 4. This is how we do it. Boom! Mark that one for review. I'm pretty sure our strongest second pair is check raise. KT, baby! I actually meant to jam this pre. I misclicked there, but anyway, that's fine. Mark the 10-4 for review. Just want to double check that we do click that one on King High. The dry King High board. Straight in the slammer. Straight in the slammer. Straight in the slammer. Clicking buttons for EV. That is honestly one of my favorite names I've ever seen on Twitch. That is so good. Thank you for the follow. You've come to the right place. Clicking buttons for EV. That's all we do. We're certainly not doing it for money right now. We're certainly not clicking buttons for money. We're happy to click them for EV though, aren't we? All it takes is a one more shuffle. Mate, you win. There's no bluff here. Yeah, you win. And no, not against the reg. And chicken. Hey, Cow Chad, good to see you. ¿Cómo estás? How you doing? I think he has an ace some of the time here. Maybe it's a 5. He's got a 5, guys. He's got a 5 this time. Never ending. Never ending. They always have the nuts. They always have the nuts, guys. Next game, please.
Dealer said, buying it. I say, yeah.
One more spin.
Put the rent down like an empty bottle of gin. Oh, yeah. Coffee cup, two-day shirt, pocket kings get buried like dirt. Yeah. I've been broke so long and it feels like work. Now I rake it in, chip by chip, slow and thin. Didn't come here just to almost win. I came to rake it in.
Stack on stack to the ceiling. Feels like love, feels like healing.
I was counting pennies.
Counting sins, now I rake it in. Rake it in.
Rake it in. Yeah. Guy on my left keeps talking big. Says he's due like it's some rig gig. I just nod, you can't mind for gold if you don't dig. Flop hits hard, my heart stays soft. Keep my eyes on the flop, don't talk. Learned a long time back, money talks, bullshit walks. So I rake it in, chip by chip, slow and thin. Didn't come here just to almost
I came to rake it in. Don't stack to the ceiling. Feels like love, feels like healing. Banger. From the AI labs of Nick Walsh TV right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now rake it in. All right, we have the skills. We can do this, guys. We have the skills to pay these bills, chat. We have the skills to pay these bills. Just gotta find the moment to pounce here. Skills to pay the bills. Gonna delayed c-bet this one. Put the turn here. Just keep limping. Just keep playing the pots in position, I guess. This is a pretty monstrous flop. I'm going to go for big bet turn to get max from clubs and straight draws. Our opponent checking back the turn means they probably just don't have a lot of nutting, so we got to start getting max from what they might have. I heard it's going to be #1 in the Sunday charts. I haven't heard anybody describe the charts as the Sunday charts in a long time, Dunbar. Yeah, this guy seems very passive, so we're not going to take any major risks. We're just going to play our cards in position to the best of our ability. Same again here. This time we can go for the 1.5 instead. Our hand could use a little protection there, I guess, as well. Right, so passive player, we're at 9. We're at 10. Do we want to ramp up the variance here? Let's just do this. And check call the river just in case. Good stuff. Soda Pop says going to shut down the pubs tonight. Boo City, Nick over here. No, are you talking about me or you, Soda Pop? Pocket 10s are the nuts. Pocket 10s are the nuts. Pocket 10s. What? All right, well, we got to believe that. Maybe the bet was a little bit thin there. I was trying to get called by bottom pair. The thing is, we can actually trust them. When they make that move, we can just afford to just be like, yeah, got it. With the ultra passive. Trey's good. Woo! How did they do in the Sunday charts, Dunbar? How did they do? How did they do in the Sunday charts? Yeah, I mean, once we get to this point, guys, we can usually just afford to play all of our hands very passively, unless it suits us. Because our opponents, this is probably too good to miss this one. We run straight into it, of course. This is how we're running today, guys. The unlosable game. The unlosable game running into the unmissable spot. God damn it. It's actually hilarious how bad we run. The unlosable game. It's actually an unlosable game. And then as soon as they have no big blinds, we're all in with a very, very good hand heads up. And they just have ace-9, because why not? Hilarity. Hilarious. I've been taking a breather, plus I'm not running wild at the tables. All on you this time, mate. Yeah, we'll see. Chelik. It's our friend Chelik. Chelik. There we go.
Shoes on, crooked cone in my hand. They started wrong, now it's gonna plan. Street light flickers when I cross the road. Tonight's my night, this is my show. I'll knock on wood, don't even care. Everywhere I go, luck's already there. I'm running like God, don't slow me down. Every green light when I hit this town. Gotta stay high.
Oh, man. Can we go for a bluff here? I'm going to go for a bluff. Wish me luck, chat. Oh, my days. Where does he get it from? Where does it what? Yeah, it's actually a really good river for us, guys. We block the straight, and obviously the check on the turn is quite frequently going to be not made flushes. So our opponent suddenly probably doesn't have as many flushes or straights as they'd like to have on that river. This will be a large ISO to 4. And then we're going to go... Oh, the Ocho might be good. We're calling a river bet. Yeah, he's got a really good hand to bluff with if he wants to stab that river. But otherwise, this is a good spot for the $100 potentially, guys. A hundo. Hundo? $100. Let's go. Nice. Sweet. Very good game for us there. Yeah, so this is a really, really cute one, though, isn't it, guys? The 8-7. This is a really nice one. I think this is a very clever spot. So, min-raise pot, we call, obviously, the ace-high board is very favorable for the player who is put in the raise, much less so for the player that's called. But I will have a lot more speculative hands, like, obviously, a lot of suited hands. The hearts make sense here, and also, obviously, the straight draws. 6-8 of spades, for example, would be a prime example. Potentially 6-8 offsuit. I think 6-8 offsuit is still a defend here as well, actually. So once we get here, we're obviously facing a bet with a 7. We're not folding a pair, right? It's just that straightforward. We're going to have the best hand too often. If we're folding this, we're folding too much. Once we get here and it goes check, check, our opponent can have some flush draws that they check back. I would say that generally speaking, good players will be aware of the fact that they probably should still continue barreling. If we want to win the entire stack with a flush, we need to bet the turn. Otherwise, we have to end up like over-betting rivers. So this just makes a lot of sense to me. Once we arrive on the river, our opponent's going to have lots of bluffs, but then also they can still have ace combos that they value bet that they will very likely not like to see a jam. And we've got a lot of big blinds behind, right? So once we arrive here and our opponent does go like this, they will have complete air, and they will have ace combos that they can still fold, right? So having 8-7 means that, of course, we're blocking like two pairs, right? Queen 7, 9-7. We're blocking A7. We're blocking the 8-6 straight, which is very relevant here as well. And we're playing our hand in a way that is believable, right? We would trap hearts here potentially. We would trap straights. In fact, if anything, we are famous for over-trapping hands, probably to our detriment. So there we go. Check jam, lovely stuff. Very, very cute hand of poker there. Next game. We're going to play one more game, guys, and then we're going to do some review. We don't have that many hands today. There's a bunch of really straightforward ones to cover. I say that every time, and then it's a long list. It is a long list. Never mind. All right, we'll do this, and then we'll start the review. I have to work on some stuff for tomorrow as well. Okay. How would we play this usually? Okay, so if I was bluffing, I would want to bet something like this. Our opponent could very easily have a king here, by the way. Checking is out of the question, though. This is a push. Straight into sixes, because that's how it works on this channel. Make a good play, get him short, and then they have the hand that dominates you regardless of what you have. That's how it works. $10.5 big blinds. Next game, please. I'm ready now, so stay with me. Ace-10 is a monstro! Yeah, the 8-9 is fine to push, though. That's a lot of gut shots. Oh, my God. It's actually only one gut shot, but it felt like a lot at the time, and it didn't even need it. Ah, why are you so lucky? Soda Pop says, when's the next live stream for PokerStars Sunday Million being covered this week? Good question. I don't think we're covering it on Monday. I could be wrong. I don't think we are. However, if you're looking for live stream action, next Tuesday I will be playing at the Hippodrome. It will be broadcast. It is the Tuesday night, once a month tournament that they run. It's a 1K buy-in. There's going to be plenty of money up top. I believe not that long ago, I think it was maybe last time or the time before, Kenny Hilliard won his 1K at the same venue. 16,000, something like that, maybe more, 20,000. So definitely worth a look. And I will be playing on that Tuesday. So next Tuesday, I'll be at the Hippodrome recording a podcast during the day and then playing that in the evening if you guys want to pop in. I don't know if I'll be on the main table. I hope that I go all the way. That'd be great. And you guys can tag along. All right, so that's it for today's poker. Let's take a look at our graph for today. I think we did a very good session today. We had a couple really rough ones, and we're still not running great. However, let's take a look at the graphage for today. Yeah, story checks out. Story checks out. I've actually been a good boy. I haven't been refreshing this graph. I've been refreshing the big graph because it's a habit, but I haven't actually seen this graph until just now. We won a lot of chips today, guys. We won something in the region of 68 chips per tournament today, which is exceptionally good. But it has to be exceptionally good because we've been bombing other than this. So we're making up for lost time. In any case, good graph. Obviously running very far below EV. You guys saw the same shit that I did today. This is what's important. We're focusing on the EV. We put in a good session. Yeah, we're not going to win as many all-ins as we'd like today, but this is what sessions should look like. If they all look like this, we'd be absolutely murdering this format. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about the hands marked for review. And actually, before we do that, I want to just make sure PokerStars is fully closed Just to be clear, PokerStars no longer open. So we're going to do some study now. We're going to look at some graphs and stuff, so some charts, some advanced technology, not for use during play when you're on PokerStars. It is against TOS. So let's do it. We did this one yesterday. Why is this still here? That was from yesterday. That was the small bet / check flop. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's just start here. So this is a pre-flop one. I'm going to make reference to the NickWalshTV chart pack, which a lot of you guys will have or be aware of. This is for sale on my website. In essence, it's every single spot in a spin and go solved, with the exception of a couple asymmetrical spots, but they're quite uncommon. So we're taking a look at images. Sorry, this is the bit I'm missing, actually. For this case, let's do this, copy hand history. So we're looking at 10 big blind jam. There is a very, very short stack in the big blind, and we have a larger stack over here. I think this is, if this isn't a jam, I am willing to, I think I might just quit poker forever, but let's take a look. I don't want to risk too much, but if this isn't a jam, I will quit poker forever. Okay, this is okay. Sorry, guys. Stream's over. Stream's over. There's no more poker for Nick. Let's take a look at the spots. You heard it here first, guys. I'm retiring from poker. This is just a straight fold. This is just a straight fold. This is why we do these things. This isn't exactly correct, to be honest, though. This is not the exact spot. This is actually more accurate. Let's do this. Okay, cool. There we go. So we are including... Why is this player... This player is just GG? This is weird. I've never seen that before. Do we have a 10-10 deuce? So this is interesting. We are close. Okay, so in essence, right, what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to play this as a call. It is somewhere in between these 2 points, so this isn't exactly correct. However, that's it. I said it now. Poker career is over. It's been a pleasure, guys. I really appreciate you all. So here's the deal. Here's the issue. The player in the big blind is calling with any 2 cards. We have 10 big blinds, and the player to our left has us covered. So in essence, what this is saying is we actually just want to have the strongest part of our range here. We are going to be doing some min raising still. The calling doesn't come into it here, which is really interesting. I thought this would have some calls with that extreme difference. What if we flip-flop them? What if it was 10? What if it's 10-1? What if it's 10-2-10? Here we go. So here we go. Here we go. This is where a lot of the calling comes in. This is where the confusion is. So under these circumstances, it's basically the same setup, except now the smaller stack is in the small blind. That is really interesting. There is something to be learned here. There is something very interesting to be learned here. So if we compare those two. So this is 10-10 tray. This is 10-2-10. As in, the button has 10 big blinds. The small blind has 2 big blinds. The big blind has 10 big blinds. So here we're still doing a lot of min raising. We're still trying to get around that player who has the big stack in the small blind. Clicking Buttons for Evie says he only had 1 big blind. You went 10-10-1. That's why he's GG. Well, right, he's in. Of course, he's forced all in. Stupid, yeah, obviously. What I was thinking was that it was still going to show us a range, but of course they don't have a hand to play, do they? Thank you very much. That's obvious, isn't it? Stupid. So, obviously these are not identical, but they are pretty darn close. I see what they did here. So 10-2-10 in the small blind. They don't have a 10-2. They don't have a 10-10-2 because that's the same as 10-10-1. They're forced all in, effectively. Interesting. Okay, cool. So anyway, what I'm trying to point out here, guys, is when there is a bigger stack to our left, we want to be doing more shoving and more min raising. However, when it's flip flops, when the short stack is in the small blind, we actually want to end up doing a fair amount of calling here. Now, what is particularly important about this spot? This is very, 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 very important. The player in the small blind has enough big blinds to reactivate the action, okay? So if we limp aces here, and our opponent goes all in the small blind, and the big blind comes along as well, and we have aces, that's advantageous because now we have all of the other options on the table. So if we limp ace-king suited, for example, and our opponent shoves the small blind for two bigs, and the big blind calls, we're allowed to be all in there with ace-king of spades where we're going to want protection and potentially generate fold equity. Gone golfing. Thank you, Soda Pop. Yeah. So this actually makes a lot of sense from that perspective. And we need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of the fact that we are flatting more often when the small blind is the shorter of the two stacks, because this is an interesting dynamic that can be exploited. So we got to remember this. You know, like lefty loosey, righty tighty? Does that work in this case? Is it the opposite? I don't know if it really applies. Lefty. I can't think of a rhyme, but we got to try and remember that because that is really, really interesting. Anyway, that's the end of my poker career now anyway there, guys. So there we are. Let's keep going. Queen 10. Raise call. Are we check raising on the Queen 10 board is the question. That's the question we want to answer. Let's do it. Yes, we obviously can call with Queen 10. That's obviously never off the cards. But what's the size? So we have called pre-flop. That seems pretty standard. Yes, and then it goes check, and then it goes bet, and then basically on the flop, facing that 1.5 bet, we can raise, we can call, we can raise bigger, we can all in. We can do all kinds of shit here. So check bet, and this is the reaction. Queen 10. We can do all sorts here. Now, this will be something to do with clubs, right? Having the queen of clubs in our hand in this case is going to significantly change how we want to approach how we play this hand, right? Because having the queen of clubs means our opponents will have far fewer, overcards with a flush draw, combo draw with queen 9 of clubs, and all that kind of shit. So that's relevant. So basically, having the queen of clubs means that we are going to trend towards smaller sizes. When we have queen 10, without the queen of clubs, we are actually going to trend towards more all-ins here. This is interesting, right? So 35.3% of the time they want to be all in. It is going to be somewhat suit dependent. But what we're trying to ascertain here is what are some other hands that we play all in here? Because what's interesting on this board texture, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna guess that the reason why we want to have some all-ins with queen 10 here is because we'll probably do the same thing with our combo draws. So if we were to click on this one, we can take a look at the hands we're going to do this with. 10-7 of clubs is a flopped. Is a gut shot. Okay, here you go. So look, this is how wide they want us to be ripping. Sorry, that's top pair. What am I talking about? I'm looking at this wrong. 10-7 is top pair. They want us to do the same as queen 10, king 10. Queen jack still wants to do this as well at some frequency. Is it queen jack with a club? Queen jack with the backdoor club, yeah. Queen jack with the jack of clubs, queen jack with the queen of clubs can be jammed on this board. That's pretty cool. That would be a nice move. That's a good way to balance it. So again, going back to the all-in, top pair is pretty much rip most of the time. It's going to be suit dependent over here as well. King 9 with the king of clubs can just rip here. Oh man, honestly, like if you were pulling this stuff out in play, it's just so impressive. Just check shoving king 9 because you have the king of clubs or the 9 of clubs is just so cool. Queen 9 obviously is different. You have the double gut shot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen. Queen 9 absolutely loving life as a jam here. Yeah, this is a really interesting one. I mean, you got to do some work because it's going to be probably specific to this flop texture, but playing this as a check jam is really fascinating. Like, what if we were to go... Can we do a flop report here? Okay, so look, if we go back here and we say all in, you can actually take a look at the boards where we have the most all-ins. Thank you very much for the follow. That was Fitty 1965. Thank you, buddy. So these are the boards where we have the all-ins most. So here we go. So Jack 9-7 is like 11.7%. 9-8-6 is very, very high. 9-8-7 is very high. So this is an interesting way to actually spot how frequently we're supposed to be using this and on what textures. And obviously it makes sense. It's going to be on boards that are like very coordinated, that want lots of protection, where we can actually sneak in some other stuff. So let's actually say if King 9 is potentially King 9 with the King of Clubs, if that's a check jam on this board, why don't we go ahead and take a look at let's pick another similar one where we might have like a gut shot. So this is 6, 8, 10. So let's take a look at this one, for example. This is Jack 10-7 Rainbow. What are the combos that want to check jam here? Oop, that's the wrong button. So if we skip across to this part of the range, what are the hands that we're all in with here? So it is King 9 again. Now King 9 this time is the gut shot, the double gut shot. Queen 9 is going to be part of that. Jack 9 is part of that. All the jacks, obviously. This is at 15 big blinds effective, so this is a spot that we encounter a lot. This is definitely worth studying because it's one we're going to see often. 9-7 is a good candidate to check jam here. Pair plus the gut shot. I love that. That's really, really cool. 8-7 will be exactly the same. Yeah. So these ones that like to do it, they have... Okay, because it's rainbow, that won't be relevant. Let's go back to the flop report, see what else we can learn here. 6, 7, 8. Let's take a look at that. 6, 7, 8. Tell me what you jam. 9s, loads of 9x. Loads of top pairs, of course. 7-5 is a pair and a gut shot. 8-5, top pair and a gut shot. 6-5, pair and a gut shot. Sorry, pair and a straight draw. It's not a gut shot, stupid. Sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9-7 is a pair plus a straight draw as well. Ace-5. Interesting. Ace-5 just wants to pure rip here as well. Straight draw with the ace overcard. So basically, this is happening way more often than I thought. The check jam, this is a very standard raise call. This is button versus big blind multi-way. Arriving on this flop and facing a very standard 1.5 big blind c-bet, we are actually check jamming way more than I thought. And that's great to know because I think a lot of these, when you see the colors are this thick, when you see this much jam, when it's that high of a frequency, you know it's something that we should probably be employing, and it's something that you could probably learn relatively easily, right? You're going to apply this in flop textures like this. You're going to do this with king 9, queen 9, 8 7, 8 9. Super cool, right? Anyway, fascinating. Okay, cool. We'll have to think about that one. But that is why we're here. That's why we review, guys, so we can find these things. All right, cool. Ace 4, min raise, call. Okay, so in this pot, guys, I tripled off. I bet. This could be completely random. I'm not going to try and claim that this is GTO. I was playing specifically against an unknown opponent. It strikes me that by the time we get to this this river, our opponent will not have 2 pair plus, so I think it is a good spot to barrel off. We're blocking ace the straight, which would be ace jack in this case. I think that this is probably okay against people. I think this probably actually massively overperforms. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of queen 4s fold in reality. But let's just take a look and see if we can learn anything from the solve. Because there's usually something to be learned there, even if it's not what we want to do in real life. So basically it likes everything until the river, and then it doesn't like the shove. And that's where probably the deviation is very successful against real people. Having a heart in our hand would probably be even more beneficial. Having the 4 of hearts would probably be even more of a reason for us to blast off. Just out of interest, let's see if we can learn anything there. So basically, happy for us to bet flop, happy for us to bet turn. So we're actually getting this one pretty good. Part of the reason why 2 barrels is very successful here is our opponents are not going to have as many big flush draws. They'll have a lot of random single heart hands. They'll have 10x, they'll have 3x, they'll have queen x. The king is both a scare card to the smaller pairs, but then also, of course, if they don't have a heart, they're not going to be loving life a lot. Just out of interest, let's go ahead and look at this. So it was raise, that's fine. We can also jam this hand, I assume. Yeah. Sorry, some fold from ace 4 as well. Bet pretty much all the time on queen 10 tray. Continue barreling on the king, that's fine. Okay, so let's just get to... Let's get to the turn and let's take a look at how button is supposed to barrel here. I think it's just a lot of betting. Yeah, we're betting quite often here. Bet 3, bet 1. Just going kind of mad here. 6, 7 is just loving life. Yeah, 6, 7 is just air basically, except for the hearts, of course. 7s is another great example of a hand that wants to just be barreling a lot. With the blocker. 9s with the 9 of hearts is loving life here as well. Okay, so once we arrive on the river, big blind is checked. Ace 5, they're feeling good about blasting off. If ace 5 can go here, ace 4 can definitely go here. Having an ace in this case is just a lot to do with blocking, I think. So ultimately, yeah, basically this is fine. Ace 6 here. Happy to just go. Ace of hearts is particularly potent. Actually, look, you guys can see this. Ace... sorry, ace 4 is here, excuse me. Ace 4, yeah, okay, cool. So basically it's a frequency thing, but what we did is fine. Like I said, I think this is one of those things where the move in real life actually outperforms, massively outperforms against computer versus against computer. Cool, nice spot. King, queen. Oh, actually, out of interest, sorry, going back. Going back to this one really quick. I don't know if Queen 4 with the offsuit 4 is supposed to call. Queen 4 just isn't even in here. Full stop. So big blind defend Queen 4. Maybe it's just a fold pre-flop, actually. That might be the issue. So big blind call. Queen 4 just isn't even a hand in the first place. Let's say that they have Queen 7 just out of interest. So we barrel the turn. Queen 7 off. Probably needs to call again. There's actually some folding from the queens on the turn even here. So you can see, like, the 2 barrels is just so effective. So by the time we get to the river, Queen 7 off. Yeah, so this offsuit queen is actually supposed to be folding from a GTO perspective. So again, another reason why in real life this is probably massively overperforming. So actually quite cool. I like this line. And vaguely approved and sort of sense checked. 7 big blind shove, Queen 9 call. I just don't know if this is right or not. Yeah, it might be a bit too wide. Queen 10, I assume, has to go. Okay, yeah, Queen 10 is in there. Queen 9 is not. So this was just a smidge too wide. If we change this to be 6 big blinds, so 6, 10, 10, I think it'll be in here. Yeah, 6, 10, 10 is a call, and then at 7, Queen 10. So, like, we are right in the middle, so this is probably dead close. This was 6.8, so in between 6 and 7 is going to be the blip of Queen 9, Queen 10. But we're thinking along the right lines, which is good. All right, pocket 8s, we raise, big blind calls. Now, we have been looking at these spots a lot because we're trying to get better at how to size our bets. I think that this is a 3 big blind bet. I think it's a big bet spot. Let's take a look. Because we are trying to get better at this and we're messing them up a lot. All right. So what? Where's the problem? Okay, so it doesn't like the turn, but the flop sizing was correct. Good stuff. So what happened in this spot, if you guys don't remember this one, I'll play the whole hand. We raise, our opponent calls. We bet big because that's what we were trying to do on the turn we ship, and our opponent calls with ace-9. No hand, no draw, ace on the river. Lovely stuff. So the solver is taking issue with our strategy on the turn here. However, on the flop, we have a pocket 8s, and pocket 8s is big bet. It's bet 3. It's bet 3, guys. We got one right. Let's go. And 7s and 9s and 10s obviously the same. So we bet 3. We get called on the turn. However, pocket 8s is going to be played more slowly. They want us to just bet again small. I say small. It's still pretty chunky, but 4.5. Okay, so they just want us to bet again normally. They don't want us to jam. In practice, this is just better. It's just a better strategy, full stop. So that's great. We actually managed to get the 3x. That's nice. Okay, so this one should be straightforward. This is the NickWalshTV chart pack here. So, like I said, I ship the 4s here, and we end up taking a flip against King Queen. However, in fact, let's do this from now on in case, and then we'll get to showdown like this. So in this case, we ship 4s. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake here. I'm pretty sure that the limp is superior. So if we're looking at the NWTV chart pack, we're looking at heads up, and we're looking at small blind, and we're looking at... We're 17 big blinds effective here. And yeah, sure enough, pocket 4s is going to be some raise, some limp. Now, again, shoving 4s is fine. You're going to win chips by shoving pocket 4s here. It's not a mistake. However, limping pocket 4s will massively outperform because you'll be able to generate fold equity and then take it down pre. If you limp and your opponent raises and you ship, that's actually going to be more winning than just shipping and getting called by the best part of their range. So this is probably a bad one for us. We really want to be trapping that one, but the shove is going to be okay. All right, next hand, almost done, guys. 6-5 limp check. We started the hand at about 9 big blinds effective, and we bet, and there was a call on the turn. Okay, sorry, we're not looking at the post flop here. Let's take a look at the post flop anyway, because I want to see how often we're supposed to bet flop. The question here was for our chatter. So I believe this was Hokage. Hokage was asking about the 6-5 limp. I feel very, very confident that this is a call at this stack depth pre-flop. I think Hokage said something along the lines of, like, I wouldn't risk it. You know, you're just trying to get lucky. Not in a negative way. I think what he means is we're trying to flop big by limping an ace. He says small blind 6-5 is a fold or raise for me. I wouldn't dare to call with it. The risk is too big. Better to give it up directly or try to bluff. Can't see how 6-5 hoping for luck is profitable. So I'm almost positive that this is a call. If you are min-raising at the stack depth, Hokage, you're probably making a mistake in the first place. At 9 big blinds effective, the min-raise is not something that happens barely at all. And there's a reason for this, because we don't really want to have a min-raise fold range raise, because there's so few hands that we would want to min-raise and fold. It's difficult to correctly assess whether or not you should min-raise fold 6-5, for example. 6-5 against ace-king after we've min-raised is probably meant to be a call. There's 4 big blinds dead in the middle, and we're calling 8 more. Like, we have the correct equity if we have close to a flip. So as a result of that, we can take a look to confirm what I'm saying, but at 9 big blinds effective, we end up flatting almost all of our range that we want to play. There's some shoving, of course, as well. Don't get me wrong. But 6-5 isn't good enough to shove. We know that that's not the case at the stack depth. That's just Nash. So if we're not shoving, and we know that we can play it profitably in position, we would always want to just call as opposed to min-raise. So we'll take a look, but I think at 9 big blinds effective, we almost never min-raise. There might be some, but it's going to be very small. 6-5 will almost definitely be a call, but we're not calling because we're trying to flop a straight. We're not calling because we want to flop 2 pair. We're calling because once our opponent checks out of position, we get to VPIP more hands. We get to balance this by having traps when we have aces, kings, queens, so the limp is not weak. We will have strong hands in this range. And then also 6-5 is going to play fine in position, right? If your opponent checks behind pre and it comes ace, king, deuce, we're going to win that pot like 99% of the time. If it comes queen 10 deuce, we're going to win that pot a lot of the times. If it comes jack 10 deuce, we're going to win that pot a lot of times. If it comes ace 5, ace 2, 3, we have a gut shot to the deuce in the tray, and it's ace high, and our opponent will never have an ace. We can just bluff. So let's take a look at the spot, and we'll take a look at the flop action as well here. But I think it just is a call. And, you know, possibly this is a good learning point for you. Right, so pre-flop. Let's look at pre-flop. So first things first, we're in the small blind with 6-5. 6-5 is just 100% call. In fact, it's not even close. 5-4 is still a call at 9.5. 9-4 off, 6-4 off is still a call. These are still being played as calls pre-flop. So there's no question at all. And this isn't like sometimes when we open up GTO Wiz, you know, we get to the river and it's like, oh, I should have called. There's so many assumptions to get to that stage that might be inaccurate in real life, and that's why we have to be careful about just assuming that we've done the right thing. But when we're looking at this and it says pre-flop we're supposed to call with 6-5, it's like mathematically mandatory. Because if it's included, it means your opponent can do very little to exploit you, as in it's almost impossible for your opponent to adjust their strategy to exploit this strategy, because otherwise it wouldn't exist here in the equilibrium, right? And like I said, 6-5 off, you can't just limp that because your opponents will just like run you over. You're going to limp with aces too. You're going to limp with kings. You're going to have king, queen. You're going to have ace, king. You have all of this stuff that you're still limping. And as you can see, there is no raise whatsoever. So Hokage, if you're watching this back or if you're still watching this, there is no min raise at this stack depth, like as anticipated, right? And this is not even a spot where you might use the min raise to try and exploit players, because you're exposing so much dead money. So if you want to have min raises and they're not just always the nuts, number one, you're not going to win as much as you like with the best hands you have. They're played better as limps. Number two, your VPIP must decrease because if you have min raises here, your min raises have to inherently be stronger. Otherwise, you're exposing too much dead money with weak hands. And a hand like 6-5 as a min raise, I think, is a catastrophic leak. You will lose way too much in this spot by playing your hand that way. So anyway, once we get on the flop and we are in the small blind 6-5 off, yeah, we're doing some betting here. I think having a heart will probably be relevant. However, we can see bottom right there. Just generally speaking, I think probably this is a spot we want to be checking mostly. 64.6% is a lot. So in play, like I said, I marked this hand for hokage, but once we arrive here and we bet, I does feel incorrect here. It's fine. It's never going to be bad to just bet one big blind on this board, but I think that this is the kind of texture where we actually want to check back a fair amount, both for as a trap, but also to pot control. And then once we arrive here, we don't really have an answer. On the turn, we could barrel an ace, I suppose. But we're not really telling a very believable story once we've limped pre-flop because so many of our aces are played aggressively pre. So, happy days. There was actually 2 points of learning there. I like that. King 5 of clubs. We just ripped for 15 big blinds. This might seem like overkill. I'm pretty sure that King 5 suited, King 6 suited, King 7 suited are going to be a partial push. They're hands that just are going to be very, very high value in the all-in, and also hands that potentially might underperform post-flop, even though they do have decent playability. So let's just open this up again. Let's run this pre, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be partial jam. Yeah, it's a single tick, so we did the right thing here. Looking at the small blind range, King 5, King 6, King 7. Queen 6 suited here as well. But yeah, like there's obvious stuff, right? The weakest aces just want to jam. All of our offsuit aces want to jam. That's standard. Smallest pairs, love it. 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s. We start to get into the realm of hands that actually have better playability post-flop, so they become raises. If we raise these, we also open up the opportunity for our opponents to 3-bet jam like ace-5 off, which we dominate as well, which is great. King, some suited kings might even want to 3-bet jam here too. Probably mostly call, actually. Never mind. Anyway, you guys can see the jamming range does consist of these, and it's fine and it's good, especially against a reg where we're not gonna do well post flop against them, better than most. All right, 10 tray. This is another very exciting one, guys, because we've been working on these spots exactly. This is a single raise pot, blind v blind, and we are 13.5 big blinds deep. Okay. Now we've been looking at these ones. We know that blind v blind. We want to be doing a certain amount of raising here. We're not raising enough. Hands that we might want to raise versus a steal here are going to be the gut shots. So 3-4, and then 3-4 is a straight up and down straight draw. Excuse me. It might also be hands like 6-4, and also we're going to have a lot of these suited hands on the dry king high flop, ace high flop. King high is better than ace high in this situation, I think, where we have the card that interacts with the straight draw. So potentially there is a turn that gives us a straighting, flushing draw, right? Let's take a look. We're working on these, and I was excited because I think this is a spot that we're supposed to employ this move some of the time. Let's take a look. Single tick, that's a good sign. So let's take a look at how we did here. So this is a pre-flop is all good, of course. Pre-flop, it's 100% call, and then, yeah, here is where we can do some raising. Now, the one thing we need to be careful of is this is blind v blind. This is not heads up. Heads up, the way that we behave in this spot is very different from blind v blind because the blind v blind steal will be stronger than it will be heads up because the heads up player is always in position. The blind v blind player is always out of position. Therefore, the range is stronger. So 10-3 suited, 10-4 suited is in here as well. So the raises exist. The raise size that they use is much bigger, though. This is a raise to 5 big blinds. This is a big raise. We employed a 3.5 big blind raise size here, but let's just assume that we're geniuses and we knew that it was 5 big blinds. It is going to be our kings some of the time. The stronger the king, the more likely we are to raise big. And it's going to be these hands that I just described, right, guys? So we had 10-4. That is the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw combo. That's there. It's not happening often. but that is going to happen. I mean, as much as we have 10-4 suited here, basically. 53% of the time we're going to put in this raise with this combo. 10-3 suited is what we had, right? 10-3 of hearts. 10-3 likes to raise to 5. It likes it. It really does like it. 10-3 of hearts is going to be a raise to 5 83.6% of the time, guys. This is it. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're introducing these. We're making these combos more profitable where we otherwise would have just folded or potentially called. I think the call is also going to be fine here too some of the time. In any case, this is good. This is really, really good. We're turning these combos that are just dead money into maneuvers here. 10 deuce isn't the same. 10-4 is one of them. 10-3 is one of them. Jack 5 is definitely one of them. Backdoor spades, backdoor hearts, backdoor diamonds. Oh, it can't be backdoor hearts. Backdoor clubs. There are no backdoor clubs. Backdoor clubs wants to do the same thing, apparently. That's amazing. Having a jack is important. Oh, this is second pair. What am I talking about? Sorry, guys. Jack 4. There we go. Backdoor hearts, backdoor spades, backdoor diamonds. That makes more sense. I'm confusing myself as I'm chatting. I apologize. Jack tray is the same. We're using these moves, these power moves, and we're going to balance that out by doing this with better hands. Now, is it important that this is 5 big blinds? To a computer, it is, yes. To human beings, it's not. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that a raise to 3.5 or 4 big blinds is going to be just as effective as a bluff, and it will also potentially be a mode for us to get more value, because if they're making it 5 here, they're anticipating that the computer is going to respond accordingly. Now, for example, let me give you an example here. Let's say that we make it 5 to go here. Right? They want us to make it 5. Oh my God! Sorry, guys. Look, I've been looking at this I've been looking at the wrong chart the entire time. It's gonna have the same. It's gonna have the same thing in it, but I was looking at the small blind response. My apologies. Ignore that. Let's go back to the drawing board. Like I said, 3 big blinds was the raise, and you can see it is the same combinations that we were describing. Okay. So we did get this right, but I was looking at the wrong chart just now. It is going to be the same kings that are going to be raised. So actually, raise to 3 was appropriate. Ignore the raise to 5. However, let's say that we did employ this raise to 4.5. I would probably anticipate that the small blind reaction is to continue with 5s quite often. Yeah, queen 5 is still in here. 6-5 is still in here. The problem is if we have a raise that's too big, real people will overfold their 5x in this situation, whereas the computer always continues. However, now that we're looking at the right chart, my bad, you can see that it is still a thing. Even though we were looking at completely the wrong player, the raise with those combos is appropriate. My bad, guys. It's difficult to talk and investigate. My apologies. 10-6 is in the same category. 8-6 is in the same category. This is all really cool stuff. The other cool thing is we can just float here too. So it's important that we find the continues with those combinations. Regardless, I mean, we continue so wide on King 5 Deuce. I think part of the issue is that they have very, very few continues on the turn if it doesn't come something useful. Anyway, there you go. Confirmation that it is a thing, and we kind of did a thing. Right now, there's a limp here. Our opponent raises, so this is just confirmation that this is textbook. This is a large ISO size, so this is not to be confused with, a raise to 2 or 2.5 bigs. When our opponent does this, we need to shove all of our value over the top. I'm pretty sure that this is just textbook from both players. Let's take a gander. Yeah, 2 double ticks. Let's take a look at the 5s. I think 5s in particular likes to ISO large. So it went limp. And, yeah, sure enough, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s. These are combos that we like to raise. Raise to 4 is here. 5s, 6s, 7s, and then all these combos too. These are the large ISOs. And then we're just going to jam all of our value, and we're going to flat with all the hands that are very playable. So this is all the value. These are the hands that still can play against that weird range that does that. Last hand. 10-4, limp check. We click raise on king 4 tray. So once our opponents limp at this stack depth, it's very hard for them to have a king. Most of their kings are going to be played aggressively here. So on this texture, I think we are supposed to put more money in with our best fours. Let's take a look and confirm that we're not whales, which we definitely are. Yep, okay, cool. It's fine. So, how often are we supposed to do this, though? It goes limp, check, king 4 tray, check, bet 1. This is our action. So raise to 3 even is very frequent. Okay, so basically, the raise to 2 is a thing. So all the 4Xs here, you guys can see all of the, like many of the 4Xs want to be played as a raise. Raise to 3 is the size we want to use with our better 4X though. So these are the two raise, basically these are all the hands that we're going to raise versus bet. And if we have A4 of any variety, we are going to be raising it a fair amount. So like 8-4 off is kind of a no hand. Having a 4 with the straight draw at the bottom end, with the backdoor straight draw, is more relevant than having these. These are going to call more often. 7-4 is also going to be in that category because that's pretty far. 10-4, Jack 4, those are some of our best 4s that we have, like we said. Putting in the raise is correct. In fact, 10-4 off is going to happen 69.9% of the time. And we're just using a larger size. We just want to deter as much as possible. So we had the right execution, the right idea, wrong execution, but close enough. All right, so there you go. That's another day in the books, guys. Tomorrow, we are going to do more spin and goes. It's going to be more like this. We're trying to contribute to our overall totals, guys. Let's take a look at this year. You guys can see that this year it's been a roller coaster already, but today was a much better session, putting us back in line of going upwards. That's good. We need to work on this graph, guys. We're going to be playing a lot of volume this year, so I'm not worried. We have plenty of time to try and correct this one. I would say that we have played pretty well over the last couple days. A couple rough sessions yesterday. Not really tons we could have done differently, but today I think was really strong. So that's good. Thank you, Curly Master. Appreciate it. So, yeah, we're going to clock off for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time. It might be a shorter stream, but I'll let you guys know on social media. If you don't already follow me, !Nick in the chat. Drop me a follow on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I'll let you guys know that we're going live. Discord in particular is also a good spot to communicate with the team and also to have a conversation about any hands you would like reviewed and stuff like that. So I'm going to clock off for today, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm also recording a podcast tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything about it. We'll see how it goes, but it's going to be interesting, and you might be into it. So signing off for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck at the tables if you're going to play, and I love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.